Yeah, that was it. Okay.
I don't think she wants 100-foot radius.
No, diameter. And Steve also said, to your point, John, he said, you know, someday that field will probably go in there and that road will go through. He said, you know, just, you got to figure that someday that'll happen.
Yeah. I agree.
So can we get her something in writing then, Roger?
Yeah, he just had to get Lance to come up with a description of what it would be if we don't survey it. Just say, you know, whatever the radius is, and then just record it, because he said it needs to be temporary, and I think, you know, I explained to him that he said it should have a time frame. I said, well, temporary is whenever they build the road, and he said that's acceptable. But if she wants it recorded, or if she wants a letter from us, we just need to define it.
Okay. Well, I can work on putting together an easement and see what it is. I guess the question I have is, who's the easement to? Is it from, I guess it would be from Darcy to the county.
Yeah, and it spell out that it's temporary.
Okay, I don't know that that's going to make her father happy, but I guess we can try it.
Well, that's one of, you know, we talked about that with her when we had her on.
Yeah.
A temporary easement that protects them from having it seized.
Right. Okay.
About it.
I will put something together and probably run it by Weston just to make sure.
Trying to pull up speaking of the Bone Road. I don't know if you're familiar with this or not, Lance, but Craig Daniels says that there's a very good chance that we'll get that grant to pave that. There was when they were doing the engineering before up there was one place where I guess it kind of went around a corner and into a dip. Required a little bit of a slope easement for Stan's property, which he wouldn't do, so we just canceled the project.
Yeah.
You know,
I think we figured out a way that we won't get on his property at all.
You know where that is?
So yeah, I know the real close to the proximity of it. Let me pull up Google Earth here and see if I can.
I've got it right here. See Stan's property. And see, that doesn't show the ownership.
So where's the bone store at?
Bone store. I think the bone store. Is this the bone store? No, that's probably not. I think this is the bone store, isn't it? Comes down the Dugway.
So it's right at the top of the Dugway before the bone store. If you go over one parcel to the west.
That's clear back at Elkington's, Roger.
Yeah.
So is the one up above there, is that still Elkington's, the north of there?
Let's see, there's Boise Road, so we still got to go south here to the bone store.
Okay, now you're getting close to there.
Oh, is High Bridge before the bone store?
No, I don't think. I think it's north of.
I think this
High
is
Bridge.
Store.
Is that? I think that.
Edelmeyer.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So if you go just north of where that is, it's where that road takes a sharp curve,
right,
and comes down the Dugway. right through there, I think.
That's Elkington's, I think. See, because Edelmeyer bought that from Stan.
So the parcel that I've been told was the problem was right at the top of that grade with Elkington's.
No, there was another one that was a little farther down, and there was a curve where it dipped. See, that's Rockwoods. And it was just one little Hillman, Doug Rhodes. I think it's farther beyond that because we would be paving down to the sheds, wouldn't we? The snowmobile sheds.
That was the goal, yeah, to get all the way to the shed.
I found a piece of property along here that was Stan's. That's federal. Right there.
Will you zoom in on that?
I don't.
So there's the shed, right?
Shed. I don't know if one of these, it doesn't help with topography here.
So if that's the curve just right before the shed, then I think there's really easy ways to bump it out just a little bit to the other side and to stay off Stan's property.
Well, this is, oh, that's Willis. Okay, I think, you know, Rockwoods would probably be good with that. And I don't know if that was the spot or not, but as you're driving that up there, the way Kevin described it is there was kind of a curve and a dip, and they needed to raise the elevation of the road to make it more safe at those speeds.
I will go back up there with KR because again, he told me it was the top of the grade before the bone store where we had a problem before, but he thought that Stan had sold that piece to Elkington's and it wasn't probably going to be a problem anymore.
I don't think he owned the piece up above, but he owned the parcel down at the bottom by the bone store. He sold that to Edelmeyer's.
Yeah. Now I will get with KR and we'll go back up there and relook at that. But if it's within our prescriptive right of way, slope easement or something like that, we don't even want to deal with Stan really. So we'll keep it out of there.
I was so looking forward to have Brian talk to him. But
he talks to him every other week, so
yeah,
whatever it was last time we got up to it, we weren't going to do eminent domain. He bowed his back, and then he was irritated when we pulled the project and was on his case about it.
Yeah, I will check back into it because I may be looking at the wrong spot.
Okay, because there's Craig thinks he'll hear in June.
Yeah, he called me and talked to me about it.
That probably won't be built till next summer, would it?
Probably not, no. Just timing ways, I don't think we could get to it this year.
Would we do that or just bid it out?
So if we do a BST on it, we'll probably do it ourselves. If we do a mat on it, if the grant is specifically for a mat, we'd contract it out. If we contract it out or are allowed to contract it out, it very well could happen this fall, depending on when that grant money is obligated.
Yeah, because if they, I hate to tie up our crews when we're looking at some of these others, like the 115th or whatever that group of homeowners are. We're gonna
101st, yeah.
first, if, depending on that priority list, because that'd be a pretty major construction project for us.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're planning on doing a mile of BST for Birch Creek Road this year. So,
yeah. But this is a lot longer than a mile.
Yeah, it is.
And if the grant money pays for it, we'd have to take a look at just hiring it out.
I'll get with Craig again and find out. I mean, he doesn't know for sure, and once he knows for sure, I think we'll get more into the details of it. I would prefer, not to take our crews away from other things and contract it out if there was enough money put in the grant.
And do your best to find a way to come on Stan's property so we can keep Brian with something to do.
I'll write that down.
Lance, what road did you say you were working on graders on right now?
So Dan Creek Road is where the graders up in the high country are. Anything else on that? Okay. There was nothing specific on the agenda, but I did want to kind of pick your brains a little bit on budgetary types of things. Blair came in the other day and we are having significant problems with our high-speed grinder. It's been broke down. The main bearings out of the belt are out, and it's been sitting there for a couple weeks now, and it may be another month before we can get parts. He presented me with a couple different options, none of which necessarily was budgeted. But the first option that I thought I'd talk to you about is the possibility of buying a smaller high-speed grinder. There's one in Phoenix area right now for about $150,000. It would take probably a budget opening to make sure we had the money to do it. But if we bought that smaller high-speed grinder and brought it up here, he figures that we could keep going. This is for grinding wood. He figures we have between 250 and 350 loads on the ground that needs to be grinded. Those loads, as we grind them and haul away, we can get paid about $300 a load for that material. That 350 loads would net revenue us $105,000. If we used 100 or bought it for 150, and in 3 to 4 months we're able to bring in 105,000, I thought that was maybe a doable type of project to not affect this current year's budget all that much.
What's the cost of replacing the bearing aside from that? And would you just replace it with a smaller grinder?
Well, so we would keep trying to rebuild or repair the machine bearing. I don't know what the cost is right now. Blair thinks it's going to be close to $45,000 to $50,000.
But in the long run, this would give you a backup in case one goes down.
It would give us a backup, and it would allow us to run when one is down.
Lance, question for you. Do you haul the high-speed grinder up to the Irwin transfer when they go up and grind all of that, or is that
So we have hauled the grinder up there when they do the wood.
Right.
We have actually hauled the grinders up to other areas, which I talked to Blair about very specifically, because I don't think it makes sense for us to grind wood for Teton County and Madison County. I don't think for right now the cost pays for itself. And so I've asked Blair to look into that and provide me some information. But I wanted to give him a letter that says, unless we increase the price to $400 or $500 an hour to go up and grind, we're not going to come grind for you anymore. Jefferson County, we also grind for, but they end up, we send them an invoice for that time and materials. And they, because they take material for us when we can't haul up to Peterson landfill, that probably still makes sense. But we don't gain anything from Teton County or Madison County.
Would this smaller one be easier to tow if you continued to do that for Teton and Madison? Would this be an easier one to move? Would it satisfy?
Not significantly. It's still oversized, overweight. Still has to be on a low boy.
But it's still big.
It's still big, yeah. I mean, small is relative. So
Yes,
the big grinder is
the size of the high-speed grinder. When you stand next to it, it's huge.
Yeah, it is huge, and the smaller one is just a little smaller. It's not significantly smaller.
So if you've got, say, $500 an hour, how long does it take them to grind up there?
So up at Driggs, he was saying it took 6 to 7 days at Teton County and 6 to 7 days in Madison County with 3 people. That's one excavator, couple workers, and the grinders.
So we're paying for the workers too at the $500 an hour?
Well, so right now we're charging $300 an hour.
Including the workers?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't pan out.
Because that's about 28,000 that comes in, and 3 workers for 7 days is going to cost you how much?
I was figuring that $20 a piece at $60 an hour times 8 hours a day.
That's about $3,400.
Yeah.
But then you have to pay them time to get up there, don't you?
Yes, we do.
So you've got probably about $5,000 in payroll costs. Yeah, the question is that putting enough wear and tear that we're better off just not doing it?
And what's it cost to transport it up there?
It's about, it's a fixed cost of $250 plus 50 cents a mile if we hire it done. If we do it ourselves, it's the equipment, the trailer and the transport. So it doesn't cost us as much as if we actually do it ourselves. It's just another person.
Right. Mileage cost for the vehicle and the transport equipment. And do you have to run flag cars?
Most of the time they don't run flat cars. They're just under the weight or the width restrictions. So width isn't usually the problem. It's the weight and the length.
Where are you selling that material?
Blair was selling it to a place that does recycling and composting. And I'm not sure exactly, I didn't write down the name of it.
Okay.
But I guess there's a few places around that have bought it from us in the past, but right now it's $300 a semi-load.
Yeah, I think we've got enough to do without doing Tetons and Madisons. Personally, it doesn't sound like it's much of a revenue generator for you.
Right now, I don't think it's any revenue, which I thought we were getting more money per load than that, or more money for the other counties. And so I don't know, when he finally told me what the price was, it's like, no, that's not a revenue stream. It's more hassle for us to haul it up there, and I'd rather them be here and do our own stuff and get rid of our own stuff.
Yeah. Yep. When did we get that grinder? It's been a couple of years.
So the big grinder, yeah, it's been a couple of years ago. And yeah, it's been down on a fairly regular basis for the last year. But this time we just can't seem to get parts, or we get excuses, or we get, well, the ball was dropped by Salt Lake and the guy no longer works here. And in the meantime, we're just sitting still, and we've got a lot of material to grind.
So are the replacement parts related to the COVID slowdown in steel production?
That's an excuse. I don't know whether it's real or not.
Is it an excuse that works for
most everything?
Pulling some of the grant funding or the federal funding for lost revenues?
I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that might be a way to get it paid for.
That's why I asked.
Yeah. But I think you've got to get a backup, because
I think that's a good idea.
the way that wood builds up, we would have been full a few years ago, and having been trying to find another C&D site, you got to keep that grinder going.
Well, Blair is actually taking vacation this weekend, and he's going to be down in the area in Phoenix. And so I basically gave him direction. It's like, it won't hurt you to stop by and look at it and see whether it'll work for us. So he's going to head down there and look at it.
State doesn't have one that's pushing up on surplus, huh?
What's that?
I said the state doesn't have one that's pushing up on surplus.
Not that I'm aware of. The other thing that I'll just tell you about, prices seem to be going up on everything. But we're getting bids on posts for our signs, those Telspar posts. 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, when we ordered, a post was about $28 a piece. Today, they're $48 a piece.
That's exactly what I would have guessed.
And the bases, we were paying just under $13. They're coming in at $42 a piece.
Oh.
So that's just signs. And we have replaced close to 25 signs around Thunder Ridge High School and Bonneville High School in the last 3 weeks.
It's stealing them, or they getting knocked over?
They're not getting knocked over. They're getting hit with eggs. And it's unsustainable for us, and I don't know quite what to do about it. But when they get hit by an egg, the prismatic coating on it, just the acid in the egg just eats it up. And if it goes more than even a quarter of the sign, we have to replace the sign. And evidently we talked to the school district a little bit about it. Dave Lauk did, and they just, well, kids will be kids. And
I'll discuss it with the resource officer out there. His attitude's not quite that passive.
And it seemed most of the time it's happening on Friday nights and Tuesday nights. But it's just, I mean, when we're paying $150 to replace a sign, or even $50 to replace a sign face, and we're doing it every week, just I can't do it.
Worth a game camera to catch them.
Well, unfortunately, I talked about that idea with Dave, and he said the last time they tried that, then they got pictures of Boots walking up to the camera and a 16 penny nail right through the lens.
Somebody could see the camera.
Oh yeah, they could see the camera.
Yeah.
And most of these kids are probably, they know what a camera looks like. So I don't know. I'm out of
that's
ideas. Any help would be appreciated.
No.
Let me go ahead and view their.
If you could ever catch one and prosecute them, I think word would get around pretty quick, but I don't know how you catch them.
Yeah, we need to sacrifice one right out there in daylight.
You're very welcome.
When the only suggestion that I might have is call East Idaho News, have them do kind of a story on it, get the word out there a little bit, and there'd be some parents that would figure it out and suspect what's going on, maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
That's why I thought I'd talk to the resource officer, because they have incredible information networks and kids talk. And I'd say the odds are in favor of kids knowing what kids are regularly going out and doing the egging. And it may not be prosecutable, but when they get called in and chatted to about it, and they know they're on the radar, it might help.
That seems like it might be a better idea. I guess a number of years ago, they tried it with the news, and because they were getting away with it and couldn't be found,
got worse.
The next 3 months, it got worse.
Yeah. Well, let's go the officer route then that John's got. That's a good idea. Either that or talk to the young men's leaders.
Well, that's another.
Sounds like it's happening on Tuesday night. Yeah.
Yeah. That's another really good approach. Leave that to the area representative. Is that area authority?
It'll probably be just a state president out there, but
it's way above my pay grade. I'll let Roger and Brian deal with that.
I haven't been in a state presidency, so.
I don't know. Let's go with the resource officer.
okay.
We'll take care of that.
The last thing I wanted to chat about briefly was I sent out an email to all three of you last week about some wages. I don't know if you were able to discuss that at all.
We're in the process of kind of looking at our overall, wage structure and scale. I prefer to incorporate that in right with that because it causes problems if you laser out some and then move them.
I know.
It's something you need to review job descriptions with John and see if there's additional duties that they hadn't had before.
I can look at that. Is the job duties themselves aren't necessarily additional. It's just there's more of them because of city works. So it's the same types, but more of them.
It seemed to me like dollar-wise, it was a really good proposal that you had. Saving that money on the cleaning, seemed to make sense to me.
Yeah, but it's still, we've got to keep our pay scale uniform. you know, and you start a stampede if you try to laser some out for that. We just need to see the job description. If it's more technical because of city works, you know, just look at the difficulty and see what that does to the pay grade. I don't know what the points are and how close they are to the next one.
Yeah. Well, I'll take a look at the points, get that information from HR and and I think there's ways to look at it like that to do it. I don't know how far the other wage stuff is going to. John sent me an email and said that he had found some information, but was still waiting on Jefferson County, and I haven't heard back from John. That's the only things I wanted to talk about. Again, there was nothing for an action item on the agenda, but.
So, Lance, to go back to that email you sent, how far are these two from the traffic tech and the road manager from their next step grade increase?
Both of them are like 24 months away.
They're in the long stretch.
They're on the long stretch. They're quite high in the steps.
How long have they been with the county?
One of them has been here coming up on 31 years, just over 30 years. He got his 30-year pin like a year and a half ago.
Really?
The other one's been about, I think he's been at least 15 years.
Honestly, the last time I saw Wesley he was probably 21.
He's older than that now.
Yeah, well, we all are.
But I'll get with John Henderson and see if I can't work through the point system there.
Okay.
Lance, a question. Who's going to be doing our plat checking now on the subdivisions?
So temporarily, Shane is still going to be checking plats that come in.
Okay.
We haven't not found, I've had like 8 applicants and 0 of them have any surveying experience.
That figures.
Is there a possibility of contracting with a surveyor if we need to? And then,
There is a possibility if we have to that we could do that. I know that other counties have done that and they do it kind of at a rotating basis because there's a conflict of interest if we contract with one and they actually have a plat come through.
Right.
Need to find somebody like Denny who was retired.
well, that's what I was wondering if Shane is he concentrating on his private business to build it up for his son?
Yes, he is.
Is he a surveyor, the son?
Yes.
So, you know, I mean, if there's a possibility of contracting that way.
Well, contracting with Shane.
Yeah, I think there'd have to be a separation period, but
Yeah. Well, he's still doing private work too, and it gets in the same conflict of interest as if you contracted with him, he wouldn't be able to check his own plats. And he's still stamping them. His son is a surveyor, but it's because they're trying to grow the business together with both of them rather than having only one of them stamps everything. So temporarily, again, he's still a part-time employee. He'll be checking plats And then if we still have Steve Rounds as a temporary employee, that if Shane brings in a plat to have checked, I can get a hold of Steve and maybe have Steve do it.
Does Steve have, is he got his own business that he's doing that, or is he just relaxing?
I think, well, he's not relaxing. There's plenty of work to do on his little farm, but he's not doing a private business.
Okay.
He doesn't want to take on that much work.
He retired.
I know, but that's what Denny did too. But maybe he'll be interested in just doing plat checking as a secondary thing.
Steve wasn't all that interested in it before, just because he was looking forward to retirement and getting away from some of those things. It also freed him up to go to Salmon, where his wife's from, and do stuff up there. So,
Steve, I haven't brought up the stop sign issue. You want to tell Lance the phone call you got?
Yeah, we got a call from Devin with Melaleuca, and I'm sorry, I can't say his last name right now. He said he really appreciated putting the stop signs up, but he's indicated that they did not install the stop ahead signs. Are you aware whether they did or didn't do that?
We talked about it. They should have done the stop ahead signs.
Because he says, well, if it's a problem or money-wise, they would even pay for the stop ahead signs. They want them pretty bad.
Well, that's interesting, because when they were out installing the stop signs, it was their trucks that were running it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Was it the contractor's trucks or Melaleuca?
I just heard that the trucks going out to Melaleuca were the ones running it. So I don't know whether it was contractor or whether it was if they had Melaleuca on the side, but that's what Dave reported back to me. It was interesting as he was putting up signs up that they were the ones running it.
Well, probably more of the reason to even get the stop ahead stuff put in.
I will check with Dave again, and if the stop aheads aren't there, I'll get them out there. But that was always the intent, was have the stops and the stop aheads.
I haven't driven out to look, but I figured it shouldn't be my business anyways.
Those will stay there for a while because there's no high school kids to throw eggs at the signs.
Yeah, we have a few months break.
Which brings up a question, Lance. Have you had any other signs hit with eggs besides those around Thunder?
So there was some on First Street, some on 52nd Street, some on Lincoln Road, and then on Iona Road.
Would you?
There's been some. Yeah.
Lance, would you just send me a list of those? It's one of the things that deputies probably going to want to look at, because that may indicate the area where one or more of these kids live.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, thank you. Sorry, the cop in me's coming out.
Oh, I forgot one thing too. They asked whether they could even do striping on the roads on those stop signs.
What do you mean striping on the roads?
Like to put the mark, anything to make it more obvious on the road.
Like the stop line that goes,
where they put the stop line.
Bar.
Yeah, the stop bar.
This is a rural intersection, and we really don't do stop bars on a lot of rural intersections. If we start that, my budget is way less than it needs to be if we go to stop bars on all rural intersections.
you just ask them if they can't have a can of white spray paint.
Or don't you put the orange flags up for a while?
They typically do. I don't know if they did on this one.
Yeah, they don't.
They typically do.
Yeah. Then they get used to it.
If they've been running it for weeks now, they probably don't even bother to look at the signs. That's probably why they were running all that.
Well, you see a truck out there actually installing a sign, you probably take notice, but I guess I'm unusual, so.
The others must be on turnip trucks.
Mhm. There's a lot of
Belknap.
that. West.
Yeah. It's Devin Belknap. I finally got it.
Well, might not hurt. I had a call from Judge Watkins, so I missed part of it, but might not hurt to have Frank's people talk to their truckers.
Well, I'll tell him that.
Devin,
I'll give him.
yeah,
They,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, let Devin know. Devin is Frank's son-in-law.
I thought that's who he was. So
Yeah,
he carries a lot of weight. So I think they'll
Yeah.
probably listen to him.
yeah, he does.
How close are they to getting that done?
They got it up Monday.
Oh, no,
The building,
processing.
I'll bet you were 5-6 months anyway. It's a big building. There's a lot of work out there. It's got 3 levels in it. They got a basement, a main section, and an upper work deck. And it's going to be quite a while. They're doing tilt up precast wall sections that are being shipped in for building the walls. It's going to be a while.
I think we need to arrange a commissioner's tour when they get it all done, up and running. I'd love to see that.
It's usually easy to do.
I think they'll probably be pretty proud of it.
Yeah.
By the way, Steve, did you get the notice on that change of time on the meeting? Oh,
Yeah, to 3 o'clock
2:30.
or 2:30. Yeah, I saw it come through.
Okay.
And we're just doing. They're sponsoring the Zoom. I take it. So
Yeah, they just want to know what the options are for plating and how we can figure out a way to get that lift station,
Right.
in separate lots so that we can get it out of their name.
they need to do some stuff. I think they want to do some other things too for breaking it up for corporate businesses. So I think I've got a solution for them.
That's why you're invited.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's all I had, so
All right. Thanks, Lance.
thank you.